and all. So we back. Welcome everyone to episode 16, Shark Attack Case Files. Been a while, but Christmas and shit. So we're going to head back into it and look at an attack, which is East Coast of America, which I think the first attack I've looked at on DOS channel. So we're going to be looking at an attack that happened in Maine. If we can find it. So this island here, Bailey Island, in this cove, Mackerel Cove, and this attack took place just in here, just in the mouth of the cove. So relatively sheltered location. Fucking dog there. So just dive into some statistics. So if you exclude Florida from the stats, because Florida is a bit of an anomaly, just because of different species and the warmer water. If you just exclude Florida from the stats, you can see dating back to the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, you can see the frequency of attacks, and then moving into the 1900s, where you had a lot more attacks at the beginning of the 19th century, or the 20th century, sorry. And then as you moved into the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you had very, very little activity in the terms of fatal attacks. So only 4 within that 40-year period. So very, very rare off the East Coast to be fatally attacked within that period. And then in more recent decades, we've started to see a slight increase in frequency of attacks, or fatal attacks, I should say. But before we have a look at the actual case file attack today, I just wanted to line up some sort of information or reasons why there's been an increase, a decrease in attacks dating back sort of 40, 50, 60 years, and then why you might be seeing a slight increase in attacks going to be coming soon or within the last 10 years. Because in the US, you had this Marine Mammal Protection Act, which came in 1972, which actually protected all marine mammals, like pinnipeds, dolphins, whales, which we know great whites and other sharks prey on. Because before that, these populations were decimated along the East Coast. So the seals, which are the pinnipeds, the population was very low. So in here they banned it. So you have all this period here where you're going to be building up more marine mammals are going to have a chance to recover their numbers. So you're going to hopefully start to get more of a proliferation of marine mammals as time goes on because of this Protection Act. And then also in 2011 you had the Shark Conservation Act of 2010, which got updated and signed into law, which then protected sharks. He also had Jaws coming out sort of 1975, which may have kept some people out of the water. And also you got O-Search, which are these people in America, or this non-profit group. They're the ones who tag the sharks, and then you can go online and see where the sharks are. So that's a bit of a divisive subject in itself, just because of the way they tag sharks. Some people don't agree with it, but then again, the science is very useful. So this is looking at these different things that are happening, and that all sort of feeds into this predator-prey relationship, where you have a decrease in population of prey, and then that obviously decreases the population of the predators, and then you have this like lag period. So once the prey starts to recover, the predators start to recover, and I think that's what you're seeing on the East Coast of America, where they brought in these protection acts and the conservation, so the prey started to increase over the last 20 years. And then now on the East Coast you're seeing a lot more white sharks particularly, so there's good conservation efforts. So this particular attack, so my fucking sizing is fucked there, but anyway, we'll crack on. So this attack that took place recently, 2020, July 27th, Mackerel Cove, Bailey Island in Maine, which is it's quite northerly attack, to be honest. I don't know if it's the most northerly attack, because I think there's a couple in Russia, up on the Pacific side of Russia, that may be higher in terms of what would that be? Yeah, just in terms of the I can never fucking get it the right way around, latitude or fuck me, longitude, fuck knows. Anyway, so yeah, Julie Hollowak, 63 years old, so quite old. She was swimming. She was attacked by a great white shark at nigh on 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and she was only roughly 15 feet from shore, which is only 5 meters, sort of. Sorry, she was 20 yards from shore in about 5 meters of water depth. So yeah, so she was quite close to the shore, 20 yards from the shore, which is about 7 meters, and then the water depth was about 15 feet, which is about 5 meters. So it's a waxing crescent moon. The water temperature was, in July, it's about 20 degrees, 22 degrees, and the injury was fatal. And the narrative was she was swimming with her daughter, wearing a black wetsuit, which is obviously an important detail. So yeah, so she just getting into it. There's not much narrative on this one. So yeah, she was swimming with her daughter close to shore, where a great white shark came up, just hit her on the surface, took her under, went down with her, come back up, let her go. And at that point, obviously, her daughter was distressed, obviously swam to shore screaming for help. And then there were some people in a canoe. They came over, tried to pull her towards the canoe, and at this point I think the shark just disappeared, maybe because of the presence of the canoe, or it just realised that she wasn't a seal, and the shark had made a mistake, so the shark just swam away. No one actually saw the shark. And the people on the canoe came over, they pulled her towards the canoe, and then one of them used a paddle to try and keep her head out of the water so she didn't drown. But then they managed to pull her to shore. They pulled her up onto the rocks. Ambulance was called, obviously, but she had unfortunately died of her injuries. I don't think she was alive when she got to the hospital, but it's not too much detail. But I would assume that her injuries were fatal, because it normally, as with some of other attacks, like 2 minutes and you're going to bleed to death anyway. And there was a couple of witnesses. One witness saw her be pulled under, and then another witness thought she'd been hit by a boat, because they said that she sort of moved up out of the water. And if you can see the screen here, this sort of ties in with studies. So this comes from a paper called Predatory Behaviour of Great Whites by Peter Kimley, which he's a renowned great white shark scientist. So within this paper, they documented hundreds of attacks off the Farallon Islands, and they documented how the great white sharks attack. And this model here is what they sort of concluded it was a typical, or sort of a very typical predation on a seal, where the shark will come up underneath, grab the prey, take it down, bite it as hard as it can, and then let it go. And then when it pops back up, what the shark's doing is just letting it bleed out, and then it will then come back and grab it again once it's bled out. So that's normally their strategy, is to hit, grab, dive, let go, let them bleed, die, and then hit them again, and then consume them. So in this case, the shark hit this woman, took her down, let her go, she came up, and then it either swam off, or it was just distracted by something else, and then didn't come back to feed. But obviously, because she was wearing a black wetsuit, this shark definitely would have thought she was a seal. And also, the day before these guys went swimming, there was a seal washed up with a large bite radius from a great white shark. So great white sharks were hunting seals in the area, unfortunately. So it's a bit I don't know whether the people were warned not to go in the water, but obviously no warnings were heeded this time. And also they found a shark tooth fragment in her body during the autopsy, and that tooth was identified as a great white shark. So yeah, it's definitely what attacked her. And the last, just a quick one here. If you like I said, OSearch. If you go on osearch.org online, or Google it, you can see where these sharks are. So this is Maine, and I took this snapshot a couple of days ago, and you can see these are all great white sharks that have been tagged. So you can see in the Gulf of Maine, these sharks are always out there moving around. They move up and down the coast. They move out into the middle of the Atlantic. They come back. So they move all over the place, really. And the biggest point here is that the numbers are increasing. So due to the to the conservation efforts in America, which is obviously a good thing. So, but hopefully people learn to be safe in the water and not I don't know, do the wrong thing, or wear black wetsuits and swim where great whites are hunting seals, which is obviously not a good idea. Yeah, so that's it for today. So bang that one out. Have a look. See you later.